Year 1. So this is going to be a quick phonics game video, the things you can do at home with minimal resources. First, a little side note to parents. Obviously we know phonics screening has been cancelled for this year, but it is still so important they know all of their sounds by the end of Year 1. One, because it's part of Year 1 curriculum still. Two, really supports their reading to be able to actually work through a range of stages and understand what they're reading. And three, they need to be secure in the sounds before they move up to Year 2. That's why I'm still setting spellings each week with 2 different sounds, depending on which group you're in. And they are going on Spelling Shed, so if you haven't used that resource already, please do, because it's a brilliant way for children to just get to know their spellings and for them to be a bit interactive for them. So before I show you the games, I want to show you some sounds that we know children struggle with at school already. They either struggle or we have to recap quite a few times, just because they're quite hard. So, first one we've got is ow, like out, or like launch, or like paw, and ooh, like blue. Then we have 3 trigraph, which means 3 letters, 1 sound, that we always go over just because they get quite stuck on these. So we've got ear, we've got air, which they get quite they struggle a lot quite on those two to point out which one's different. And then we've got your, this is the hardest trigraph that they will learn, and we go over this pretty much every lesson in phonics just to recap, to remind them. So just so you're aware, they're the ones that we normally find they struggle with at school. So I'm going to give you a few games that you can do at home using just minimal things that I've either given you or that you can create yourself. So first one we already do at school is called Slap the Sound. So all I've done, using post-it notes, I've written down some sounds. Now, if you want to be quite clever about this, you can use the flashcards before and see which ones they struggle on and write those ones down so they can have a practice. So all I've done is written down some sounds on my post-its, which I've put in your packs already. I'm then going to lay them out on the table. Now with Slap the Sound, we do play it at school and the children know the rules, but I only have 2 rules. First rule, hands down the end of the table before I say slap the sound, and I will give them a sound. So for example, I will use a little group of children. At home you can do it as a family if you want to, or use siblings. Hands on the edge of the table, and I will say a sound and they have to slap it and grab it as quickly as they can without hurting each other, obviously. So for example, if I had these laid out and I shouted A, they would remove their hands from the side of the table, grab it and put it back. This just shows which sounds they know. If you want to challenge, you can put different words, and you can even put alien words, which are silly made up words, and they have to make sure that they are actually reading them correctly first. So that's my first one. Another one, you don't need anything for this one, is just a quick I spy. Now, instead of doing the normal initial sound, so I spy something good with s, it could be I spy something with the sound A in. So it might be that it's raining, you can say rain. Really quick and easy, you can do it wherever, even if you're just trying to keep busy. Another one is playing snap. So on the table, if again you've used your flashcards to see which ones they're struggling on, and say again it's A, or E, let's use 2. I would put my A on the table, and I'd also come up with another word with A in, like main, and I'd turn it over. If they're struggling with E, I'd put E on the table with the word like key. I'd turn them all over, and then they have to match the 2 that have got the right sound in. For those children that are on alternative sounds, so that is Miss Bailey's and Miss Patch Underwood's group, you can put as many different words on the table as you like, and they've got to make sure that they actually all match, and it's an alternative way to spell that sound or that digraph. Just a little challenge there. Next one we've done in phonics, they absolutely love this, can get a little bit messy. If you've got any spare balloons at home, fill up a balloon with water, not too much, write different sounds on them. So you could have a bucket full of all different digraphs that you know your child is struggling a little bit with. Give them a little toothpick and you say a sound and they've got to pop that sound. Now obviously if they get it wrong, then you've only got a certain amount of balloons that you can use. So try and direct them as much as you can. Maybe use this at the end of doing a little phonics lesson as a recap of what you've done. Another one that I have personally used myself, and I see it all the time on Pinterest, and by the way, Pinterest is brilliant for any phonics games, is Connect 4. So on the counters, if you put a letter and a sound, you can either write them on a pen or you can just stick over if you don't want to ruin the counters. and you've got to play games to make a word. If I was you for that one, I'd only use a couple of sounds and lots of letters to make it a lot easier, because it can get a little bit tricky. And the last one is playing a game of bingo at home. So you can make your own bingo cards, just write down some sounds on a card. I'd probably stick at 9 for a challenge. I'd go for 12. You say a sound and they can either use bingo pens if you've got any at home, or they can colour them in once you've heard that sound. Again, you can extend that one if you wanted to do it with real words and alien words, nonsense words, so that they're reading both of them, and they're noticing actually that's not a real word, or that is a real word. So they're the games that I've got. Please let me know if you have a go at them and give me an email with a picture, because I'd love to see your ideas. Bye.